Hi guys, today I will be sharing how to make pandan custard cake. I've got 10 by 3 round cake pan in here that I added 1 cup of sugar. I'm gonna cook the sugar until it turns into amber color. The rule of thumb when you're making caramel is not to stir this, but for me, I want an equal color of the caramel. So once the sugar starts melting, I'm mixing it a little bit. So do not burn the sugar or else it's gonna be bitter. So this is now ready. We're gonna set this aside and move on to the flan. I've got 8 egg yolks in here and then I'm gonna add 1 whole egg. I'll add in 1/4 cup of sugar and then 1.5 teaspoon of vanilla. Give this a quick mix. I'm just gonna be using a whisk to mix the ingredients together, so we don't want a lot of air bubble. Now I'm adding 375 ml of evaporated milk. And then 1 can or 395 grams of condensed milk. So just mix it one more time. Don't mix it vigorously. Again, the secret to a smooth flan is not putting air into the mixture. And this is now ready. I'm going to transfer this into the prepared pan where the caramel is. So we're gonna use a strainer just to make sure that there's no unmixed egg yolks. I'm gonna put this in a bigger pan where we're gonna put the hot water because this cake will be baked in a double boiler or bain-marie. So for the cake, we need 100 ml of coconut milk or coconut cream, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 teaspoon of pandan paste, 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, half a cup of sugar, 1.5 cup of cake flour, 6 egg yolks. To begin, we're gonna combine the cake flour, the baking powder, and salt. Give it a mix. Set this aside. We will sift this later. Combine the coconut milk or coconut cream and then 1.5 teaspoon of pandan paste. You can put more or less of pandan paste according to your taste. If you're using the liquid version, you might need to add a little bit more. Now we can add the 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. We will set this aside as well. Now, combine the egg yolks and sugar. Give it a mix until the mixture is light pale yellow. Just like this. At this point, we can add the pandan mixture. While continuously whisking. Now we can sift in the dry ingredients. Now use a spatula to fold the ingredients together. We will set this aside and then we're gonna move on to the meringue. For the meringue, we need 6 egg whites, half a teaspoon of cream of tartar, and half a cup of sugar. So using an electric beater with whisk attachment, we're gonna beat the egg whites. When you're working with egg whites, make sure that all the tools that you're gonna be using is free from grease, or else your egg whites will not work, or it will not reach the peaks. So once the egg whites is frothy, add the cream of tartar, and then gradually add the sugar. Once the sugar is all in, continue beating until you reach stiff peak stage, just like this. And then we're gonna combine the meringue into the pandan batter in 3 additions using the folding method. By the way, before you start baking, make sure that your oven is preheated at 160 degrees Celsius. And boil some water as well. So this is now ready. We're gonna transfer this into the prepared pan. So we're gonna put this directly on top of the flan. Since the batter is light, it will just float on the top. So I boiled some water as well, and I'm gonna put hot water on the pan just above the flan. So the steam will cook the flan as well. And then we will bake this in a preheated oven at 160 degrees Celsius for about 1 hour to 1 hour 10 minutes. And this is what it looks like after baking. You know that it's ready when the side of the cake start pulling away from the pan. And then let this cool down for about 45 minutes before unmolding it. So after about 40 minutes, we're gonna unmold the cake. Use a offset spatula and run it on the side of the cake. And then just flip it upside down. And this is what the cake looks like. Ideally, you would put this in the fridge before cutting. This is so good. I can guarantee that you're gonna love this. The flan is so smooth and the cake is so light. And then just to show you what it looks like inside when you cut the cake. My cake is still a little bit hot, but I'm gonna cut it anyway. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Bye!